Product velocity is the idea of developing physical products at software speed. And I just published the first case studies that show you how real companies actually achieved that. And these case studies not just show you what they achieved, but also why they did the things that they did and how they fit into the overall product velocity concept. All the case studies have an easy recognizable standard format where I give you an overview page that shows you who did what the case study is all about, what the outcome was, and where you find that case study on the net. Each case study gives you an overview which product velocity principles were applicable. There are 4 principles, but not all principles are applicable in every case study. And it also shows you which segments of the velocity loop were active and observed in the case study. And again, not every case study gives you requires all segments. And here you can see like a picture that quickly shows you which product this was about. So I am very happy that Meru, a manufacturer of smart trash cans, shared a lot of information about the development process with me, and they applied many of the product velocity principles. And I want to introduce a single case study that shows you one aspect of the development. So what I want to talk about is the Meru Smart Bin Universal Interface. And I'll start with the business context. So they had a number of imperatives on the business side. For example, the availability was business critical. And so they decided to make on-site replacement easy as a solution to that. But at the same time, they really wanted the interface to be future-proof and not be stuck with an interface that would evolve and become incompatible over time. So this is how I present the case study to you on the website. And there's of course also a lot of text to explain what is visualized here. And after the context, I typically explain the applied principles. In this case, architect for flow and accelerate. So what do I mean by that? So architect for flow means that they understood the business needs and as a consequence designed interfaces that would accommodate those business needs. The first one is the mechanical interface, which is a cup which has a standard mount. So if they would ever need more space or smaller space, they would only have to replace the cup, which would fit on the universal mechanical mount. So that is future-proof, but at the same time, the actual connector of the dumping mechanism fits into this cup and can be mounted with a quick release. So exchanging the dumping mechanism takes just 30 seconds and it doesn't require any tools. If you visit the Product Velocity website, you'll see a short video that showcases that. And on the electrical and signal side, they used USB-C, so they didn't even design the interface themselves. They leveraged a standard, and by that they also had a future-proof interface for their power supply and the signal communication. Reflecting on that, we see that an important element of the velocity loop was the structuring, which lives in the system stewardship domain, which is where you typically maintain and evolve the architecture and other aspects. So once that evolved, they could design those interfaces and ensure that they would take all the user needs and stakeholder needs into account. Once they were happy with that, they really committed to that by putting it in the field, by shipping the smart trash cans with these interfaces. And then they would go into operation where the customers were using the smart bin and where they could exchange the dumping mechanisms with a few steps in a few seconds if it would break down. So these four aspects of the velocity loop were applicable in this case study. And the outcome is that they could fulfill the stakeholder requirement of having high availability of the system. They always have a spare on site so that if a trash can breaks, they can simply exchange it and send the broken unit back, and managed to do that while keeping the whole system future-proof. So that's it what I wanted to share with you. There are more case studies on the website, so please check them out. There'll be more added over time, and I hope that you can see the power of these concepts. And if you want to know more, well, subscribe to the newsletter, and later this year you'll be able to buy the book.